Hello, and thank you for viewing my video on how to fix my credit myself. My name is Chris Ross, and I will be showing you all the steps I took to fix my credit, which resulted in me raising my score from below 500 to over 700. Contrary to popular belief, there isn't a quick fix for this, and if you follow my steps, you will see an increase in your score as time goes on. I would encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube page as well as visit my website, improvemyfinances.com, where you can get updates on credit repair, how to maintain your credit, and all the benefits available to you once your credit is better. So let's just jump right into it. What I will be covering in this course today is how to obtain your credit report for free, how to read your credit report, the fastest and most secure way to dispute inaccurate information, what to do if your dispute fails, collection, charge-off accounts, should I pay them or not, negotiating with creditors, and lastly, how to obtain your credit score from all three major bureaus. The first thing you need to do is go to annualcreditreport.com. This is the only website that is authorized by federal law that will give you access to all three of your major credit reports from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Once you're here on the site, you do want to click on the request your free credit report link there at the bottom. From there, it will take you to the next page where it gives you some more instructions, and you will want to click request your credit report on this screen as well. The next screen will be a screen that will ask for some of your personal information, such as name, date of birth, social security number, address, things of that nature. Once you fill in the information on this page, just click next. And on this page, you will see the options that are available for you to choose from. So you just want to check the box next to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax and click next. The next screen that will come up will be an option for you to confirm the last four digits of your social security number. And from this screen, you will have an identity verification. This is where they will ask you a series of questions. You will need to answer these questions correctly in order to get access to your credit report. Just click continue. And once you click continue, this is what will pop up. Here is a sample of an Experian credit report. And from this point, what we will do is I will roll over into how to read your credit report. This is a copy of a sample Experian credit report. And as you can see here, most of the information is self-explanatory. And there is a link in the description where you can actually view a copy of this sample as well. As you can see, section 1 gives you your name, your report number, and the date. Section 2 is an index, which basically allows you to be able to click on the hyperlinks and it will take you to the different sections of your credit report. The information is typically broken down into negative items, items that are in good standing, a request for your credit history, which is basically your inquiries, your personal information, and then any type of important messages from the credit agency. Section 3 here shows you any potentially negative items. This would include any type of bankruptcies, judgments, or liens. If you have any type of public records, that information will be shown first on your credit report. The accounts that will follow after that will typically just be your general trade lines that show up on your report, whether they be positive or negative accounts. You can see here in section 4, it shows you the status of an account. In this particular sample, this account has been paid and it had at least a past due amount of 60 days. In this next account that shows up on here, this is a sample of an account that will be in collections. And one thing that you do want to pay attention here is where I have my cursor is the date open. This date is very important, and I'll discuss more about this later on in the video. Section 5 here shows your accounts that are in good standing. Section 6 will show you the different types of accounts that you may have. So in this particular sample, this particular account is an installment account. Section 7 is going to list all your inquiries. So this would be requests for credit that you have made on your own behalf, followed by inquiries that were made from other individuals, such as promotional inquiries. So if you get credit card offers in the mail, things of that nature, that's typically where these inquiries will show up. The promotional inquiries do not affect your credit score, so that's something to keep in mind. Section 8 lists all your personal information. You want to thoroughly check this information to make sure that your name is spelled correctly. Sometimes you will see different variations of your name, but you do want to make sure that your social security number is listed correctly on here. If you do have a number that is not your social security number on your report, that's something that you definitely want to alert the credit bureaus to and dispute, because that could be the cause of some inaccurate information that's listed on here. Typically, you will see the last few addresses that you stayed at as well listed on your credit report. Section 10 is your personal statement. I'll talk more about this later on in the video, but basically this is a statement that you can give to the credit bureaus to explain any type of inaccuracies or anything that you may disagree with on your credit report. The next topic will be the fastest and most secure way to dispute inaccurate information. A few tips to keep in mind. An account is referred to collection generally after 180 days of being delinquent. Once in collection status, the account can remain on your credit report for up to 7 years from the date it was referred. If you file for a bankruptcy, it will remain on your credit report for up to 10 years. If you believe anything in your report is inaccurate, you should dispute it. Providing false or irrelevant information for a dispute is against the law. And lastly, the dispute process will take anywhere from 30 to 45 days. Now, while you're still on the annual credit report site and you have one of your credit reports pulled up, you can actually initiate the dispute process from that website as well. Once you are done viewing a copy of your credit report, you will see an option available here for you that gives you the opportunity to dispute any inaccurate information. One thing to keep in mind is you do want to print a copy of your credit report while you have it pulled up. You can access your credit report later once you close out the window at the individual credit agency's website, but I would encourage you to save a copy for your own records while you can. As you can see here in this example, there aren't any negative items that need to be disputed, but if there were, you would see a number of those items listed there. From that link, the next window that will pop up will be a list of the accounts that you have the opportunity to dispute. In this breakdown here, you will see that there's an option for public records as well as credit items. Again, in this example, there aren't any items to dispute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the dispute process from a different website. And it is pretty much the same process that you will follow on the annual credit report website as well. What I've done here is I've logged into my Credit Karma website, and from here I will show you how to dispute an inaccurate account. Once you're logged into Credit Karma, you want to click on credit reports and you want to click on accounts. And from there you will see a list of all the accounts that are showing on your credit report. If you have an account that you would like to dispute, just click the hyperlink for the name of the account. And the next thing that will show up will be this. From here, you can see the payment history for your account, the creditor's name, the date it was opened, the limit, just various information about the account itself. If you would like to dispute something, you would just click on the blue hyperlink where I have the arrow where it states we can help you dispute an item with TransUnion. From there, the next screen that will show up will give you the opportunity to dispute information on the account. And in this example, you are able to dispute the ownership or the accuracy of the account. If you would like to dispute the ownership of the account, it gives you several reasons there to choose from. And what you would do is just pick the one that is the most applicable to you. If none of those items are applicable to you, then you will click the blue hyperlink at the bottom where it states, what if none of these reasons fit the issue I am trying to correct? If you click on that, it will take you to another screen where you can enter in some information yourself. But if one of these reasons are applicable, you can check the box and dispute the information that way. You can also dispute the accuracy of an account. From here, you can choose up to 2 reasons that you would like to dispute. The very first reason is this record contains multiple inaccuracies. Please verify the accuracy of all data. This particular reason will pretty much cover the gambit for any and all reasons that you may want to dispute an account. So if you just check this one box, that should cover everything. But if there's other items that are listed there that you would like to dispute, you can, but remember you can only select up to 2 reasons. If for any reason that you would like to write into the credit bureau, they do list the address that is available to you where you can write in your dispute. Although I prefer this method over writing to the actual credit bureaus, because this process is very speedy and is also very secure. What to do if your dispute fails? A few tips to keep in mind. If your dispute is valid and it was not corrected, you can request a reinvestigation by providing written proof of the inaccuracy. If the reinvestigation fails, you do have a right to provide a written statement to be added to your credit profile for that account explaining your position on it. This is basically section 10 of the sample credit report that we reviewed earlier. This is where you will put in any type of personal statement and it will show up on your credit report. This statement will only be seen by someone if they manually pull your credit and review it. If you are applying for a credit card or similar credit, it is highly unlikely it will be reviewed by an actual person. Overall, this statement has little to no effect on if credit will be approved for you. Reinsertion of a deleted item can appear if the item is later found to be correct. Basically, what this is referring to is if you have an account that you know is accurate, although it may be negative, and you dispute it and it is taken off, it can later be placed back on your credit report if it is found out that the information was actually correct. This is the reason why I stated previously in the video that you do not want to provide irrelevant or inaccurate information to the credit agency to dispute an account. Collection charge-off accounts, should I pay them or not? Here are a few questions that you will need to ask yourself before you decide if you want to pay off a collection or a charge-off account. Do I need credit now for something? Will this account keep me from being approved for new credit? How long has it been on my report? Is it being reported monthly? Is this account really bringing down my score? And can I afford to wait out the 7 years? Now I'm going to give you a real life example here, as these are the questions I had to ask myself when I was working on my credit. So I needed to buy a house and I had some accounts that were on my credit report that I needed to get taken care of, and these items were keeping me from being able to purchase a home. So again, to the first question, do I need credit for something? Yes, I was trying to buy a house. Will this account keep me from being approved for new credit? Yes, I needed to take care of it. So that answers question number 2. How long has it been on my report? Well, the account was kind of old, but it wasn't old enough to where it would have fallen off after the 7 years in time for me to be able to purchase a new home. So in that instance, it was something that I needed to take care of immediately. Is it being reported monthly? In my situation, yes. The account with the collection agency, they was updating this account every month and it was just killing my score. Is the account really bringing down my score? Yes, it was. And can I afford to wait out the 7 years? In my instance, no, I couldn't. I knew I wanted to purchase a house. I knew that the account had only been on my credit report for about 4 years, and it was going to be another 3 years before it would fall off my report, and I didn't have 3 years to wait. So I knew it was something that I had to take care of. These are some of the questions that you want to keep in mind whenever you're going through and you have accounts that you need to pay that are actual legit accounts that you were not able to get disputed and removed from your credit report. Negotiating with creditors. Since we have some accounts that we need to take care of, here are a few tips that you can use whenever you contact the creditors. The very first thing is talking to a creditor will not restart your 7-year clock on it being removed from your credit report, nor will paying an account restart your 7-year clock. I hear this common myth a lot with people, where people are afraid to contact the credit bureaus because somehow you think by paying them or by contacting them that the account is going to stay on your credit report for longer. That is simply not true. One little helpful tip here is, I know a lot of times with contacting these creditors, you don't want to give out your regular phone number because you're in fear that they're going to just be blowing your phone up all the time trying to contact you. If that's the case, what you can do is you can go and create a Google Voice number, and you can use that number to call the creditors. That way you can kind of filter and monitor your calls. With Google Voice, at least you can turn off that feature where you won't receive any phone calls. So that's something that you may want to keep in mind if you just don't want creditors calling your phone 24/7. Collection companies make money by buying your defaulted debt for pennies on the dollar and try to collect the full amount from you. Even after 7 years has passed, a lot of creditors will try to collect from you. They have the right to collect, but not to report to the credit bureau if it is older than 7 years. So if you have an account that's older than 7 years old and you're still getting phone calls from the creditor, that is the reason why. They will continue to hound you to try to get you to pay these accounts, But if it's older than 7 years and it's no longer legally allowed on your credit report, you really don't have any type of incentive to try to pay them. I put these accounts on the back burner. If I have money left over to take care of something, I'll try to work out some type of deal with them. If not, then I'm just not really going to be concerned with it. In some instances, you can negotiate with them to remove the account from your credit report if you pay a certain amount of the debt. I've tried this in the past and it has actually worked. So let's say, for instance, you have an account that's in collection and it's $1,000. But it would be much better if you didn't have this account on your credit report. Sometimes you can call them up and offer to pay the full amount in exchange for them removing it. Now, if you do this, you definitely want to get this in writing from them before you send them any money. This works sometimes it doesn't. If it does not work and they don't want to agree to remove it, then you want to try to negotiate to pay a lesser amount on the account. Typically, they're still going to try to collect probably 70 to 80% of what you owe. But my philosophy with them is, do you want to take a little bit of money or no money at all? Especially in situations where you can wait out your 7-year period. If the account is 5-6 years old and you don't necessarily need it off your credit report in order to obtain credit for something, then you can just wait out your 7 years. But if it's something that you need to take care of, I always negotiate with them back and forth as much as possible to pay the least amount, because they're making money either way because they didn't pay the full amount for your account. How to obtain your credit score from all 3 major bureaus. Now, you can go to each individual credit agency and get a copy of a report. So that would be TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Each of these agencies have options to where you can get your credit score from them. Some of them give you the option to be able to request all 3 credit scores from one website. One thing to keep in mind whenever you do this is, if you request all 3 credit scores from one of these credit bureaus, the scores are going to be based on their model for their agency. So let's say you go to Experian and you want to get your TransUnion and your Equifax score, where your TransUnion and your Equifax score is going to be based on Experian's credit model. It's not going to be based upon TransUnion or Equifax. So if you ever check your credit report individually from each agency, you'll see that the scores are going to be different. My personal favorite place to go to get all 3 of my credit reports is myfico.com. The reason why I like this website is they give you 19 different score variations that you can use in order to better understand your credit score overall. Each creditor has a different scoring model for your credit score. So if you're applying for a mortgage, your score is going to be one number. If you're applying for a credit card, your score is going to be a different number. If you're applying for a car loan, your score is going to be a different number. So each creditor has different scoring models, and the good thing with MyFICO is you can get access to all these different scoring models, so you can have a better idea of what your score will be based upon the type of credit that you're going to be seeking. What I've also found out is MyFICO is also the cheapest out of the other individual credit bureaus as well. The last option available to you is creditkarma.com. Now, with Credit Karma, you only get access to 2 of your credit scores. You don't get all 3. This is a free service, however, and the reason that it is free is because they host ads on the website. So what you'll see is advertisements for credit cards, personal loans, things of that nature. Now, I use this site on a regular basis, and I log into it every week to get updates on my credit report. So I definitely use it because it is free and it doesn't cost you any money. So if you don't have any money to spare to get monthly updates from MyFICO or from Equifax or TransUnion or Experian, I would encourage you to use creditkarma.com. Now that we're all done with disputing the information on your credit report, the next thing you would need to do is build new credit. So click on the link here and you can view the next video in this series on how to build new credit. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, as well as visit the website improvemyfinances.com, where you can subscribe there to get updates on some helpful information as well. Thank you.